Hey everybody, welcome to day 2, Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Edmonton, Canada. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spas. SFuels go longer. Quintana, HOKA, One, Form Smart Swim Goggles, Zoot Sports, the original Triathlon brand, Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, coming off of a second place in Ironman Germany, Nikki Bartlett joins us. Hi Nikki, how you doing?
Hey Bob, great to be back speaking to you. It seems like yesterday.
It does, right?
It really does seem like only yesterday we were at St. George, but you know, a couple of months on.
Well, and we didn't get a chance to talk after St. George, but you got 13th, but more importantly, didn't you get your ticket to Kona?
I did get my ticket to Kona. It wasn't a great day for me, but got my ticket, and I got to the finish line, which seemed like a big achievement on the day, to be honest.
It was huge. I mean, was that one of the more brutal races you've done?
Definitely one of the more brutal ones. Definitely one of the places I've had to really dig deep to just to get to the finish line.
Yes.
So I found out a lot about myself on that day.
Well, and Ironman Germany. An hour swim, 4:50:41 bike, 3:07 marathon, 9:05:20. But you get second place, and you had a great race with, was it Daniela Blimmel?
Yeah, obviously on the same team as well, which is great for Erdinger. So yeah, it was a really great battle with Daniela. She deservedly took the tape, and yeah, I was really pleased with my performance on the day.
When did she get away?
So she got about 2 minutes on me in the swim, which for me, I had a good swim there.
Right.
And then she increased that a bit on the bike. And then I was trying to claw back on that run. I felt terrible on the third lap, and I felt like I was coming around a bit more on the fourth. So I felt like I ran out a bit of road, but I don't think I've ever said that for a 42K wrong before.
Oh my God.
But no, I was really proud of that performance. Probably one of my best put together Ironmans.
So you specialize track and field and hockey. And which of course leads perfectly into triathlon. The track and field does, obviously, but hockey. How's hockey work for you?
Everyone just whacked the ball and shouted Nikki, and so it doesn't matter where I was on the field. They just expected me to run after the ball.
They're like, she'll go get it.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of carry that attitude now. It's just like, okay, I'll give it a go.
You don't seem to be intimidated by anything. You like to race, and you don't care who's there.
No, right? I love racing the best people. I love just to challenge myself and just to see how much you can push your body. Like, I have no idea how the format is going to go on Saturday.
Yes.
But that part really excites me. It's like, okay, let's just go and see how much I can make myself hurt and get amongst it.
Well, and what's cool about this one is, we were just saying, it's sort of like an extended ITU race because it's 3 laps on this. I mean, for people who are Ironman people, you're not usually doing a 3-lap swim or multiple lap bike, and then the same type of thing in the run, and you got like 3 punchy little hills on the bike and 20-meter draft. There's so many little roads. Certain parts of the roads aren't great. There's a lot of different things to think about here.
There's a lot going on in this race.
There really is. Plus $1 million, by the way. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the money there now. It's pretty significant.
Like, okay, I had a bad day. I got 14th. I got $11,000.
Exactly. And you're just looking at the field here, and obviously the prize money has attracted the best athletes in the world, and they all want to race the best athletes in the world and get the financial reward for it.
Well, and it's funny because for a lot of years, it was almost like the athletes would say, I'll go and race Placid, you go and race Chattanooga, that way, because the prize money wasn't that much. So when you want to go, almost like a golf course has 1 pro. Yeah. It's like every race had 1 pro, and that was it. Having everybody here, it's exciting for everybody. You have a lot of money on the line. It puts people in a position to take risks and take gambles because I'm guaranteed $2,000 no matter what happens, as long as I get to the finish line.
Exactly. So it's a chance to test new things. Like, I'm not going to lie, the longer swim doesn't suit me.
Right.
But yeah, it allows me to test a bit more on the bike. My top end is probably my strength.
Right.
I'm trying to translate that into full distance racing at the moment. But definitely top end. That's why the guiding, when I used to guide, that distance really suited me, the kind of 20K.
Yes.
So I'm going to attack the bike pretty strongly on race day and see where that leaves me, especially the 20-meter draft rule.
Which is great.
That really suits me.
Yes.
If that's monitored well, that would really suit me.
And they will. I think they have done a great job with that.
I really hope so. And then the bumpy roads, like it feels like we're back in the UK.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like a standard UK road.
Exactly.
Like Ironman Bolton is, the same as this course. I don't find it that hilly. Kind of wish I had a one by on my bike, but
right.
The hills will mix up the field as well, which is great. Hopefully it will split up kind of like long pace lines. So I'm really looking forward to how the dynamic of the race course, like some people won't like all the bumps.
You're used to them. Your roads
I'm
are
used to them,
crappy.
they're terrible.
Yeah. The other thing you also were a rower.
Yes.
You were selected. You went through the Girls for Gold initiative to find future Olympians, selected rowing. And how far did you go in rowing?
I was good.
Right.
I was an elite rowing atmosphere, like I was on the world-class start system. I kind of went and based myself, I call up north in the UK to try and get in the 2012 London Olympics team. Unfortunately, my body was just like, no, at the weight I had to be. Because I was a lightweight rower and it just 56 kilos for me.
It was too light.
Well, you need to be 57, but you need to be really 56 highs to weigh in. So it's a sport which set me up well for triathlon.
You did, because it's suffering. You suffer a lot.
I learned how to suffer in rowing, and like it makes triathlon have a whole new level of variety. Because it was just like, the water could be crystal clear, crystal
flat, crystal clear.
And you'd be like, no, it's a row machine session. You're like, are you joking? So turbos actually seem entertaining compared to the row machine.
Rowing machines are
But
brutal.
what's funny is that for the Girls for Gold initiative, I actually tested and passed the cycling.
Yes.
But I'd never really ridden I didn't even own a bike. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do the cycling. I'll take on the rowing. So it'd be interesting to see where I'd be if I took on the cycling.
So when you did your first triathlon, you bought a cheap road bike, got some running shoes, and took first place.
Yeah, I'd like actually to say, actually, it's quite funny that race. Vicky Holland, who's coming to commentate, she was in Darren Smith's squad then, so she's all over the world. And I told her I'm going to do an Ironman. She was like, you do realise there's other distance triathlons you can do? And I was like, oh, really? No. She was like, I highly recommend your first triathlon is not an Ironman. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, I've entered one. She was like, oh, what? And I was like, half Ironman. For goodness sake. But she sent me her wetsuit. To use, because I didn't have any equipment. So I bought a bike off eBay for like 150 quid.
Nice.
Got a wetsuit. Kind of didn't really understand the distances because I didn't have any water bottle cages on my bike. Didn't have any nutrition. So that was a bit of a rookie error because I got on the bike and I was like, I am starving. And it was quite a local, low-key race. There's like not really any aid stations. Like I remember I got on the run and said to my mum, I was like, Mum, I'm starving. And they had this one little tiny table with some jelly beans on. I can remember just go.
You take all the beans.
And literally, it was like, feed me.
That is great. So 3 years. Wait, was it 3 years or so as an age group before you moved pro?
Yeah, pretty much 4 years. Yeah. I went through the age group ranks because I had to learn how to swim.
Absolutely. What was when you did your first race as a pro? I'm sure when you went over from age group, thinking, how much different can it be?
Very. Literally, like, I can remember I was just so far behind on the bike. I didn't really know how to push myself properly on the bike, I don't think.
It's a different mentality of 100%. Riding and suffering on a bike.
And I learned, obviously, in the pro fields, like, it's quite a lonely experience.
Yes.
Like, there was, like, 10 people in the race, whereas age groupers, like, there's, like, 2,000 of you.
Right.
So you're around people all the time, whereas chucked into the pro field, I was like, oh, God, I haven't seen anyone for, like, 2 hours.
Right, you're by yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, am I on the course?
That is funny. And then when you go to you end up guiding for the Paralympics, which is like the coolest experience ever. But just getting to the start line for that one, because you guys were, the person you were guiding was dealing with some injuries? Yeah,
she had like 4 weeks kind of off training really with and on crutches. So to get to the start line was a significant experience.
Well, and so that just changed the whole mentality from, hey, we are going to win, to get a medal. So we just want to get there.
I was like, I just want to get to that start line so badly. Yeah, definitely. And my brother was getting married the same day, so I was like, I've got to make this worthwhile.
I'm going to catch a lot of crap from the family.
Yeah.
And you guys, was it fourth?
Yes.
How much did you miss the medal by?
I think it's like 2-3 seconds.
Oh.
And then straight after Paralympics, literally a month later, they changed the factor. So like...
you would have gotten a medal.
Well, you could say would, what if, but they changed the factor, and now it's a smaller gap to the completely blind.
You know what's so funny? When I look at the factor with Lauren Parker, right? That factor was perfect because Kendall Gretsch caught her right at the line.
Yeah.
So whoever came up with this is how much time you should have, I'm like, wow, that's.
I always wonder how they work it out, but
I don't know what they do, but whatever they do, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So what are the goals here? What do you want to do?
I want to finish the race.
Yes.
And say to myself, I am really proud of myself for this race, but showing where I'm at. Like, because I was really proud of myself for getting to the finish line at St. George, but I had a terrible day.
But it didn't show where you were at.
No. So I want to cross the line and be like, and like Frankfurt, I had a similar feeling. At Marbella, I finished first at Marbella a couple of weeks before Frankfurt. So it's been a really busy race block. But yeah, if I can cross the line and be like, you know, I've left it all out there and showed where I'm at, I'll be really proud of myself. So I want to have that feeling crossing the line.
That's very fun.
And be absolutely smashed. Like, I want to actually, you know, come off the bike thinking, how am I going to run? That's how I want to feel. And then just absolutely batter myself.
I don't ever want to feel like that.
I know. I mean, you don't really, do you? But
you know,
that
if
is
you
my
feel
goal.
that way, you know you've pushed yourself.
Exactly. Bex, my other half and coach, was like, I want you to absolutely destroy yourself on the bike. I was like, oh my God, very nervous about this. She's like, if I don't see that face, obviously she knows like the hurt face coming off the bike.
Yeah. That's going to be fun. This is going to be a pretty historic event. I think it's going to be so fun.
Look at the start list. Like, it's absolutely insane. And we're all very excited to be a part of kind of like the first major.
Well, and it certainly makes your year moving forward easier to figure out what you're going to do when you've got Canadian Open, U.S. Open, and hopefully Collins Cup. And then if they add another one, if they do another one down in South America or somewhere else, all of a sudden, you know, and again, because of the prize purse, it's not you're not taking that risk of, gosh, if I finish fourth, I come away, I lose money.
Well, that's it, because like I've raced a lot. I raced 2 Ironmans and a 70.3, and one of them with jet lag in 7 weeks.
Yes.
And Beck's like, do you know what? I don't know if this PTO race is going to be the right idea. And I was like, oh, but she knows what I'm like. I love racing, and I want to be a part of these kind of races. And then when it was like, it's 2004, 20th onwards, you then want to take a risk more and be like,
absolutely.
I'll go for it then, because I'm not going to come away with a loss.
Right.
So that's kind of what edged us to come, because I was like, wow, I've got nothing to lose.
Well, and if you look at it too, if you're in, your 11th place and you go like, okay, I'm guaranteed 14. And if I get up 2 places, I'm got 18.
Exactly.
So it makes every reason in the world to dig as deep as humanly possible to get 1 place, 2 places. You're not going to be complacent during that run.
And it's going to be quite cool, actually, because like most races, you're running on your own.
You won't be here.
Well, like at Marbella, I had like nearly a 5-minute lead. Right. So I felt like I crossed the line, but I was like, I didn't feel like I'd really pushed myself on the run. But this race, there'll be someone breathing down your neck.
Always.
And then looking in front, there's always going to be someone, hopefully, who's going to blow up. Even in the last 500, I think there'll be some little cheeky sprint finishes down the carpet.
For you, when you're talking, every back you see is a $sign on it.
Literally, it's like, okay, if I speed up by 10 seconds, that's £1,000.
Exactly, that's £1,000. That's another one. There's 2 people in a row. That's £2,000 right there.
I know, and I've been saying to Bex for ages, I really want to buy a sauna. And
she's like, buy a sauna from this.
Every race, she's like, okay, if you do this at this race, we'll get one. And I've ticked all those boxes, and so this one I could be like, well, if I speed up by 10 seconds, there's my sauna.
You get your sauna. I love it. Nikki, I always enjoyed chatting with you. Always so much fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, Bob. Really appreciate it.
Nikki Bartlett has been our guest, everybody. Again, Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Edmonton, Canada. Hold on. We will be right back.